fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm super excited today to bring you an unboxing from ARTDOT. If you've been following the channel, you know that I do some rather large projects, and I'm in the middle of one right now. I am working on a Josephine Wall 100 by 70-ish centimeter painting from Diamond Painting Deutschland. It has 275 colors, and I've kind of got things scattered amongst a couple of storage solutions, which is better than I had when I was working on my Diana. When I did Diana, which had 250 colors, I had it just kind of cobbled together with whatever storage I had. I didn't know that things like this were available, so I'm super excited. This is a bottle case, but as you can see, it is quite large. It is double layered. It has this lovely carrying handle so that you can carry it. It is kind of heavy, but I'm okay with that because I'm not really going to be carrying this around. This is, once I get things put where I want, it's going to kind of set in one place while I'm working on the project. So it's not actually going to be doing a lot of moving around, but it does make it nice so that on the rare occasions when I will need to move things, I can pick it up. So I picked out the blue one. You can see it's got like deer and fox, and there's a seal and a penguin. So this is kind of Arctic animals, I guess. They have several different colors that you can pick from, and I'll be sticking a link to all of this down below. ARTDOT was kind enough to send this to me, and I've got all kinds of information about their socials and where you can go to find them on their website and where you can pick things like this up. I actually have my eye on one that is larger than this, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So I just want to measure this so you can get kind of an idea of how big it is. So centimeters, no, this is inches, 12 inches by roughly 10.5 inches, which is how much in centimeters? That is 30 centimeters by 27 almost centimeters. And how tall is it? It is about 7 inches tall, which is roughly 17, 18 centimeters, somewhere in there. So just for comparison, I've got a 60 bottle case here, and you can see it's not quite the same size. It's about the same width, but this one is a little deeper, and you'll see why. And obviously it is taller. So we're gonna start at, well, let me start at the top. I was gonna say start at the bottom, but it does have these nice little zippers, and you can see it's got nice stitching back here on the back. I'm mostly going to use it, as I said, like this. So let's see what's inside. And the zippers slide really nicely. It looks like, sounds like real quality stuff. Ooh, things are falling out. Okay, hang on. So we have a typical bottle case. We've got all of our bottles here, and then we've got a pouch here in the top, and it's got some things in it. So let's see what's in it. We, of course, get stickers for all of the bottles. We've got a little case here with tools. We'll look through that. And we've got a collapsible funnel. So you can see here, this is 80 bottles. It's 10 across by 8 deep, and they are all full-size bottles. I have seen some of these cases where the top layer is, the bottles are only about half the size of these. So I was happy to see that these are full size. So in our little toolkit here, what do we get? We get a green boat. We get some plastic tweezers. We get 4 diamond painting pens, each with a multi-placer attached. So we've got a 3, we've got 2 6s, and a 9. So 4 pens. We've got a bunch of wax. We've got more stickers, one of the larger trays with a spout, and a straightener. So all of that comes as part of the toolkit, which is really nice. So we've got all of that in the toolkit. So we've got our first layer here, and it does have the nice thick styrofoam to hold your bottles in place. So even if I turn it over, nothing's going to dump out. So we've got our first 80 bottles here. And then we've got this interior part that kind of separates it. So I guess if you wanted to, you could even kit up 2 different kits in this, like put one here if you had less than 80 colors. And then when you unzip the bottom here, you flip it up and you've got another 80 bottles. So that's 160 bottles in this case. Currently, My largest storage is a 120 bottle case. So it's 2 layers of 60. And that's the largest one that I have, which coincidentally is one of the things that I have kitted up my Josephine wall in. I actually toyed with the idea of switching these around because I have my Josephine wall in 2 different containers, 2 different storage systems. But even this one isn't going to be big enough to hold all of the colors, which was why I had my eye on the 420 bottle case. So on this one, we've got 2 layers. Again, all of the bottles are full size. So we've got another layer of 80. So we're at 160 bottles. And then we have a final 3rd layer here of another 80 bottles. And again, it's really nice thick foam and it's cut really nicely so the bottles don't go anywhere. And then of course you've got just this nicely lined case interior for you to put everything in. So this case has a total of 240 bottles. I had 160 just with 2 layers. So if you were doing, say, a heaven and earth or cross stitch conversion, you could do something less than 160 colors just in this bottom section, and then do a separate kit in the top with the 80 bottles if you had something that had less than 80 colors, and have everything contained kind of all in one place. As I said, this still isn't going to be big enough for me to do my Josephine wall. So rather than kind of transfer everything over and make things more difficult for myself, because I've kind of already memorized where everything is on the Josephine wall, rather than confuse myself and have to start all over and move all the bottles and everything like that, what I'm going to use this one for is one of my heaven and earth designs, because I have 2 heaven and earth designs that I have not started yet. My mermaid one I have actually kitted up. However, I have kitted it up into several different containers. So I wanted to show you guys what I did with this big 240 bottle case. And what I did was replace 2 bottle cases here. These are each 60, and 2 of my 28 cube storage. So this bottle case on the bottom, I had filled with extra drills to use up a lot of my spare drills. When you have spare drills, you know you get a lot of colors where you just have a lot of them. For instance, you get a lot of 310, you get a lot of 3371. There's just a lot of colors that you end up with a lot of. So what I did was on the bottom layer of the tray of the case, this is just an example. I did a blank canvas with something like this, just geometric shapes, and I just used, these are colors, round drills, because I had a round blank canvas that I had bunches of extras of, and I just randomly kind of put on a canvas to use the drills up. So you can see it doesn't use up just two, not even 2.5 rows. So I've got all of these extra bottles, but just to keep everything separate, I put those in there. Then the other 3 cases, this bottle case and the other 2 small ones, these are the Heaven and Earth design kit that I have kitted up that I'm going to be using my spares for. So what I have in here is all of the drills for my Heaven and Earth mermaid canvas that I have that I'm going to be using my spare drills for. Now, I have my inventory sheet in here because I've been keeping track of when I first kitted this up. I did not have enough drills of every single color. So for instance, I need 2,110 drills. I don't have that many in here, and I don't have that many 152 in squares, but I did have some where I had enough of each color for what I needed, and so I have marked those off. So I'm keeping this in here. So that is this one and some of this top layer here. So just this row of drills, but I have room to expand if I need to, because as I showed you on the inventory sheet, I don't have all of the colors that I need, or I don't have enough of some particular colors, if that makes sense. But I'm going to be able to keep both of those because they don't really get used very often. I haven't actually started my Mermaid Heaven and Earth because it's huge and I've got other projects. And I'm keeping those extra drills for when I have another blank canvas. I haven't picked another blank canvas up yet, but I didn't want to dekit everything back into my spare drill storage. But it was taking up all of this room. I had these 2 bottle cases here, and then these 2 extra 2 cube storage here that were being taken up. So now I've freed up all of this space, and I just have this one container that I can keep all of this in, zip it up, and it takes up pretty much the same amount of space as these other bottle cases, but I fit way more into it. So I can put these back in to be used with some other project. I can put my bottle cases back to be used with another project. And when I want to go finally work on my heaven and earth, I've got everything in here. If at some point I decide to buy another Diamond Painting Deutschland, I would likely kit it up in something like this. I do want to get another blank canvas so that I can get the rest of those spare drills used up. And I do want to work on my Heaven and Earth Design Mermaid canvas. I just need to finish a few other projects first. I'm really happy with how many things I'm going to be able to put back to use as storage for smaller projects. And I can keep these kind of someday projects where I want them and easily accessible, but in less containers and more compact. So I wanted to show you how I was going to be using it before you see the rest of the video. So let's go back to the unboxing. So yeah, I have lots of plans for this. I'm super excited to have a bottle case that has this many bottles, because if I can use it, like I said, for different kits, and actually I could do one large kit in the bottom and then a smaller kit here in the top, but I could actually use each layer for a kit. I can't think of many kits that I've done where I've needed more than 80 bottles. Usually I get by with 60, so certainly 80 should be plenty. So I could actually kit up 3 different kits in this one container and have everything kind of organized instead of having multiple containers floating around in my storage space, which is what I currently have. I currently have 5 different kits that are whips, and those drills have to get stored somewhere, and so being able to kind of stack them away neatly or just grab one case and be able to work on them all at once would be awesome. So there you go, guys. There is the ARTDOT 240 case container. I will stick a link, like I said, down below. I will also stick a link to all of their socials and info. Go check them out. They've got a smaller one, I think, that is only 120, but they've got the larger one that is 420. So I think I'm going to maybe help myself to one of those at some point, because I just think it will be easier to do that. Also, now that I just think about it, I wonder if I got a couple of the 420 containers, if that would be a good way to do like some spare drill storage for those of you who aren't interested in kind of making up boxes and tags and stickers and baggies and doing it that way. These wouldn't hold as much as some of the baggies, obviously, but honestly, how much of that do you really need? Depends on your circumstance. Some of you might get away with something like this. Some of you might want the baggie system so that you had more, but yeah, I'm super excited about this one. So a huge thank you to ARTDOT for sending it to me. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.